Samantha with Top Dog Tips, and today I am making this video guide on how to introduce new cats to each other. So this is something that I'm asked a lot by cat owners. It is something that it can be difficult to do. Just keep in mind, unfortunately, cats are fickle creatures and it's not guaranteed that two cats are going to get along. So knowing how to do it and doing it in a really slow, gradual process is the best chance you have at getting two cats to cohabitate nicely with each other. Planning the introduction in advance is really, really important. You don't want to just say one day, I think I'm going to get another cat and bring it home. That's going to be upsetting to not only the cats, both cats, and very stressful for them, but it's also maybe going to upset other human family members in your home. And when there's stress and anxiety and some upset with the human family members, the cats are going to read that too. And so it's just going to be really a recipe for disaster. So as I mentioned, the process needs to be really slow and gradual. The first thing you want to do is trade scents. Whether you're going to be adopting a cat from a shelter or a breeder, ask if it's okay for you to bring in a blanket or a towel or something that's been in your home that your cat lays on that has his scent all over it. So you want to bring that to the breeder or the shelter so that the new cat can have time to get used to that scent. And you're also going to ask if it's okay if you could have a blanket or a towel, leave it there for a few days, have your new cat lay on it, be around it, and then bring that home for your resident cat to check out. So you're swapping those scents while the cats are still living in two completely different places. Once you've traded scents and the cats have had 2 or 3 days with the other cat scent, then you're going to prepare separate spaces in the home because it's going to be time to bring the cats into the same space together. So the new cat, you need to prepare a space, a quiet room in the home, and that room is going to be for the new cat. So it could be a spare bedroom, a bathroom, somewhere where you can keep the new cat separated for a few days. And this is going to give her time to get used to the new environment, the new smells, as well as the new human members of your family, because they're going to be able to go in and out of that room. Say, for example, if it's a bathroom, you can still use that space because you want the new cat getting used to the human members of your family as well before being introduced to the resident cat. If possible, choose a room that has about 1 inch, maybe more, of space underneath the door. You don't want too much space because you don't want anybody to sneak under there, especially if the new cat is a kitten. But just a little inch of space maybe under the door. And this will allow your resident cat and your new cat to be able to sniff each other and interact under the door without having complete access to one another. You'll also need to make sure that that space has the amenities that the new cat are going to need, like a litter box, food, water, a bed, things like that. So the new cat's going to be in their own room. The resident cat is still going to have the run of the house. And you're going to do this, like I said, for a few days. So 2 to 3 days. And during this time, you want to feed them together, but separate. So you want to feed both cats on their sides of the door. So put the food bowls near the door. Probably the new cat, because they're in their own little room and they're not used to the new house and they don't really know what's on the other side over there, they probably will eat near the door. Your resident cat might not. So if either cat doesn't want to eat right there by the door where the other cat is, just make it kind of right off to the side. Trust me, when they get hungry enough, they will eat. Maybe not when the other cat is right out there, but they will eat. You can also make the food more appetizing by adding canned tuna or some canned cat food there. If you want to try to get them together at the same time near the door, putting some canned cat food in each bowl at the same time, they may stand there and eat that together. But it's not necessary. Just that the food is there is good enough, that they're there and they're near the door often eating is good enough. Eating is a positive experience for cats. So by having them do something positive in close proximity to each other, even though that door is in the way, they're going to associate the interaction as a positive experience. If one of the cats growls or hisses under the door, that is totally normal. They're probably gonna do this for a day or two, maybe not even that long, but that's just sort of, a cat's way of asserting their dominance. And so, that's completely normal, but just keep doing this until that aggressive behavior stops. So if you have a cat that's hissing and growling, they might do it for a day or two, and then you'll know that, it's safe to proceed once that behavior stops. On the other hand, if you have a cat that continues to hiss and growl for more than 5 or 6 days to a week, it is a good sign that the cats may not get along together. You can still proceed with the gradual process, but that's kind of your first red flag that this might not work out for one of those cats. Once you've finished feeding them together but separated on opposite sides of the door and things seem to be going fine, then you can move on to the next step, which is switching places. So you're gonna take the new cat and let them have the run of the rest of the house, and you're gonna take the resident cat and move them into the bathroom. This will allow both cats to be able to smell the other cat, get used to that scent. It's gonna give your new cat time to get used to the new house without having the fear or the worry or that added stimulation of having the resident cat following them around everywhere. So they're gonna be able to kind of get a lay of the land, figure out some good spots where they like to lay and sleep. And then, your new cat's gonna be in there in the bathroom or, the laundry room, or wherever you close the new cat in. He'll be in that room smelling, getting the scent, and kind of getting used to that cat, the new cat, having that cat around. When you do this, you don't want to swap the litter boxes, the food bowls, the water bowls. So you want your resident cat eating, drinking, and using the litter box that the new cat was using, and vice versa. You do want to clean the litter boxes, so make sure that everything, all the waste is out of the litter boxes, but it's going to be the same litter box because it has a lot of scent on it, so that's really helpful. And the food and water has the scent as well. So when your cat's eating out of, your resident cat, I should say, is eating out of a bowl that the new cat ate out of, he can smell that new cat, get that scent, but he's still associating that positive experience of eating around the scent of the new cat. So you want to make sure that you switch areas, but you don't actually switch food, water, cat litter, cat beds, anything else. Just the only thing that's switching are the cats. After 2 to 3 days, the cats should be getting more comfortable with each other. They're still gonna be going around the door, getting that opportunity to eat there or sniff the other cat under the door. And they really should be starting to get comfortable with each other at this point. So the last step in this gradual process is allowing the cats to see each other without actually having access to each other. So in the doorway of the room that separates them, you're gonna put up a gate, and you may have to put 2 baby gates stacked on top of each other, or 2 pet gates stacked on top of each other in order to keep the cats from jumping over. But you're going to put a gate in between them so that they can see each other, they can smell each other, they can get up close to each other. They just don't have that full access in case there is going to be any fighting or confrontation. Be prepared for the cats to hiss and growl at each other for a brief period. Again, that's totally normal. If they're gonna do that for the first couple of interactions, that's totally normal. It's a pretty good sign. Again, if you do this for 2 days and one cat is still hissing and growling and really having a problem, that's when you know it's not gonna work out. Unfortunately, these cats just aren't gonna get along for whatever reason. Usually cats are gonna work things out on their own. So after they see each other the first couple of times, the hissing, the growling is gonna subside, and they're gonna start to become a little bit braver, spending a little bit more time there, investigating each other. And the process should kind of happen on its own and very naturally. But again, if you notice that aggressive behavior for more than a few days, it is a pretty good sign that those cats aren't going to be good together in the same home, unfortunately. So even if things are going fine in the beginning, it's best to keep the cats separated while they're in that kind of beginning period. So 2 to 3 days of that. If things seem to be going well, if they seem to be comfortable, you can take the gate down, let the cats be around each other. I still, for the first couple of days, wouldn't leave them necessarily completely alone together, just on the off chance that something does happen. So just monitor them really closely, and your cats, you're gonna watch them and their behaviors, and you'll know when they're ready to be just left in the house completely alone while you're gone to work or out running errands. So that's how to introduce cats to one another. If you liked this guide and you loved the advice, just be sure to click the like button on this video and subscribe to our channel. There's also a little bell under there where you can subscribe to notifications, so you'll be notified when I post new content. I'm posting all the time, everything from home remedies to homemade recipes to product reviews and tips and tricks for dogs and cats and their owners. So be sure, again, like and subscribe. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out via email. Thanks for watching this guide.